Remember when we were using the blur to actually sharpen the image. So I want to show you how to use sharpening techniques, in this case, to actually even out the skin from the image. I don't want to say blur the skin, because we're not going to blur this out, but we're going to even out the skin. To make you see what exactly I mean, let's zoom this image, and it's this problem shows very often on different kind of images. It doesn't have to be professional image. This image is before retouch, but it doesn't matter, because often, no matter which image is that, as you can see on the makeup around here, we have these little white dots. So how to sort them out? I'm going to show you what exactly I mean by choosing the color black and paint a little bit over here. As you can see, we have these little white areas everywhere. This over here. So how to remove this, because it makes our image not looking well. Right now it's not really a huge issue because it's very small, but what if it would be a bigger? So I want to show you how to remove this using our sharpening tools. The same as before, I'm going to do 2 duplicates, and I'm going to number this, number 1 and number 2. So I have 2 layers, and these 2 layers I'm going to put into the group as I was doing before. Control Command G to put this into the group, and I'm going to call this DeSharpen. Okay, open this, and the same as we are doing before, I'm going to change blending mode for this group into overlay. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to change this normal blend mode on the layer number 2 into vivid light, the same as before. And now I'm going to invert this layer, Control or Command and I to invert this. So we got our previous result at the moment right now. So I'm going to filter, sharpen, and choose unsharp mask. Oh, it wasn't really right. Once again, filter, sharpen, and unsharp. Once again, I choose smart sharpen. As you can, sometimes it happens. So last try, right? Unsharp mask. We choose it right. And as you can see, it already happens. But of course, the amount is too big, and also we need to know how big these little dots are. I think they are around 2 pixels maybe. So I'm going to make this smaller. As you can see, it works really great. So it's picking up the really small areas. I don't think the white dots are bigger than 2 pixels, so you can easily see how much you need to take off. Also threshold, maybe a bit smaller, because bigger is going actually to bring this down up. So I'm going to set threshold. And the best thing about this, because we're choosing this at the end, we don't need to really rely on the values. We can just look at the image and see what's the best for it. Okay, and amount maybe a bit smaller, or I'm going to keep this around 100, and then I can just play with opacity. So we got to this point, and I think it looks quite alright. Right now I think I can hit OK. Just last look at the image if everything disappears. Hit OK. And of course you might say it doesn't look well, because that's before and that's after. I think it's even too strong. However, the result will be more visible. But the rest of the image doesn't look well, so how to fix it? Well, there is a very simple method for it. I'm going to create layer mask on this layer. So create layer mask and invert this to turn this into the black color. And then just by white brush, I'm going to make this bigger, and I'm going to paint over the area I want to even out. So that's how you can easily even out the skin texture. how to easily you can rough skin texture, of course, because that's something we are talking about. We're talking about the rough skin texture, and that's it. Right now, if you think it's just too strong, you can lower the opacity on this, and it will look a bit more natural. So very simple step. Zoom this out a little bit before and after. We can do exactly the same on the second eye to make this look not so strong, not so shiny and glossy, because the truth is it didn't look well. And before and after. Such a simple step, how we can use actually sharpening to even out the skin texture, to de-sharp some of the areas to make them really beautiful.